Hey everyone! So ever since I saw Steve Harris play The Klansman on the Rock in Rio show from 2001 on the DVD of the very same name, I've wanted an acoustic bass for myself. And every time that I've tried an acoustic bass in a music store, I've gotten very, very disappointed because they've always lacked volume and punch and, you know, all of the stuff that you need from an acoustic instrument. This summer, however, when me and my family were up north visiting my parents, we took a trip to the local music store where I bought my very first amp, my very first electric guitar, and all of that good stuff. A place called Helsefors in Orsa, which is about 30 minutes from my parents' home where I grew up. So went there and I got there first. My wife was outside playing with my daughter in a playground, and I went by the acoustic instruments and I saw this bass and another acoustic bass that was about 4 times the price of this one. I paid about 190 euros or dollars, if you will, for this bass. I know that's not exactly the same, but it gives you an idea of how much I paid. And I tried the more expensive one first. You know, I just plucked the E string and it sounded like acoustic basses normally do. And then I tried this one and I was pleasantly surprised with how loud it was. And it ended up going home with me. And it wasn't my initial suggestion. It was actually my wife who came inside when I had been sitting down, you know, playing it for a few minutes. It was like, how much is that? It sounds great. You should buy it if it's not too expensive. So it ended up going home with me. It's a Woodstock bass. It's made in Ukraine, or it's made in China, but the brand is from Ukraine. I had never heard of this brand before. This video is not sponsored by Woodstock in any ways. I paid for this bass myself. It was actually used, so all thoughts and opinions expressed are very much my own in this video. Anyways, I had never heard of this brand. I tried it plugged in for just a few seconds in the stories to see that everything worked. Because like I said, the whole point of an acoustic instrument is to be, you know, self-sustaining in terms of volume. It shouldn't need additional amplification to be heard. And the main problem with acoustic basses is that you're limited by the physics of the instrument. You need a much bigger body for it to be able to resonate properly, to carry the low frequencies across, so to speak. I don't know what is with this bass, and I don't know if this speaks for all Woodstock acoustic basses or Electro Acoustic. I've been informed that it's called this one. But it's pretty loud, or it's loud enough to accompany an acoustic guitar, which I tried with my cousin. We went down to my cousin and his wife, who have a cabin by the beautiful Lake Siljan, and me and my cousin had a quick jam session for, I don't know, about half an hour, playing some songs, and it was more than sufficient to be heard and provide low end when playing with an unplugged acoustic guitar and, you know, us singing over it. So I was very pleasantly surprised by that fact. So here's what this bass sounds like, mic'd up with my Shure SM7B, no post-processing whatsoever. Here we go. So this bass has quite a bit of low end coming out of it acoustically. The built-in preamp on this bass is an EQH4 preamp, which features a 3-band EQ and a presence control, as well as a battery check button and an overall volume control. When I did the preamp fiddling section of this video, I had the output volume cranked, and then I went through the maximum and the minimum settings of the different controls, so to speak. Overall, I'm really happy with this bass. It's actually great to have an acoustic instrument at home that I can just take from the stand, and it actually makes an audible sound without me needing to, you know, plug it in and use headphones or a cab and whatnot. So that's great. The neck actually has a bit of bow to it, which I think helps in terms of letting the strings ring through properly. As you can hear, the sustain is pretty good on this bass. The intonation is semi-okay. If you're playing together with someone, you can always, you know, bend the notes. The bow of the neck kind of brings with it that the action is a bit higher than I normally what I normally go for, and I like my strings on the other side of the frets, like Mr. Entwistle said. But hey, it is what it is. The tuners are a no-name brand. They are okay. However, if I were to change anything on this bass, it would probably be them. However, I'm a bit afraid of, you know, tinkering too much with this bass because I don't want to lose the low end that it actually carries. So I'm gonna leave the neck as it is. It's not that bad of a bow to the neck, but like I said, it's more than I usually have on my basses. But overall, for the amount of money that I paid for this bass, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Like I said, the problem with acoustic basses is normally that they sound like, you know, well, nothing. They don't make a sufficient sound without you needing to, you know, use some additional amplification. And like I said, that kind of eliminates the whole purpose of an acoustic instrument. If you don't, you know, if not the main purpose is to look, you know, MTV Unplugged cool, so to speak. So the bad things are, like I said, the intonation. It's semi okay. You can't adjust it really with this bridge. I don't know if you can see it, but you know, the pins here are not exactly, you know, luthier even in terms of how far down the body they've gone. But hey, it is what it is. I don't know what string brand is on this bass. They sound pretty okay as it is right now. There's still some life left in them. But overall, I'm really happy that I picked up this bass, and I think that it will prove its worth in the future, hopefully. You never know when you have an unplugged gig, and it's always fun to, you know, be able to play an acoustic instrument when the rest of the band is playing acoustic instruments instead of you sitting there with, you know, a electric bass. It looks cooler, and you know, that's half the battle. So with all this being said and done, thank you so much for watching. This was my quick review and thoughts on the Woodstock Electro Acoustic bass. I don't know if you can get these anymore. I think you have to look in the used market. I think I saw one on Reverb recently, actually. So keep an eye out for them. They don't usually go for that much, and you can't argue with the price and the amount of tone that you get for the money. So with all this being said and done, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, and I'll see you guys and gals and cats and dogs in the next video. Until next time, take care. Bye.